As I'm filming this, I'm seeing the number 77. So for anyone out there who's been seeing that number, this is your confirmation that this is a message for you. Today I want to talk about something that's really relevant, I believe, in the times that we're living in. In the times where there's massive upheaval, whether in the world or within yourself, or challenges that you're going through, or relationship blow-ups, or whatever you might be experiencing. It is something that I want to talk about that will give you so much peace of mind, peace in your being, and where you will feel like a heavy load will be lifted from your shoulders. And that thing is forgiveness. And I'm gonna jump straight into the message. We often go through life carrying so many different experiences, right? So many experiences where we felt like people have done us wrong, situations have done us wrong, situations that might be really super flipping traumatic. And I know there are so many different kind of levels in the badness of that, right? There are things that felt emotionally wrong. There are things that might have had violence or abuse. I'm not gonna say that this is easy and this is something that you need to do, but I want to talk about the fact of what forgiveness can bring. If you feel like this is something that might help you in this time. And the reason that I'm sharing that is because I recently had to forgive. I recently had to forgive something that I felt like the universe was showing me like it was time to let go. And for the longest time, I felt very hurt. I felt so hurt, sad, grief. I felt angry and resentful and just humiliated, right? And I'm not saying that lightly. I think, when the universe was showing me that it was time to forgive, I really struggled to first accept that. How can you forgive something that is unforgivable? This is something that I did ask my higher self, my guides, God, the universe. Like, how can I forgive the unforgivable? How can I let go when there's so much that I'm angry about? How can I forgive someone that mistreated me so bad? It was an inwards journey. And the thing that I got was, forgiving is not about the other person. You may feel it is that way, but ultimately, forgiving is about loving yourself enough to release the burden of carrying the weight of that experience or of that situation, that thing, that person, that whatever happened. Because that situation, that emotional load, that resentment, that hurt, that grief, that is carrying a vibration that takes up space within you, within your aura, right? Within your energetic being. And for something that takes up space, it also means that there is less space for the good things in your life to flow in. And so I was in a phase in my life where I was feeling like, I feel like I wanna create videos because I love to create videos, but there was nothing coming, no inspiration, no creativity, and it felt like I don't really feel like doing it today, right? And that went on for a long time, and I started wondering, did I lose my joy for creating content? Did I lose my passion for talking about stuff like this? And the answer was no, not at all. But it was like, the universe was showing me through various messengers. Usually it has people, right? Or just synchronicities that will show you, hey, it's time for this now. And it showed me, listen, you're holding on to resentment here. And if you're holding on to resentment, there is no space for creativity to flow. There's no space for the new to come in. And so I want to share with you that before you can forgive someone, there are a couple of things that need to happen. Before you forgive someone, you need to move through it all, right? You need to give yourself this space to feel all the emotions. And that may not be one moment, right? It may not be one single day where you decide, today I'm gonna feel all the emotions that are, attached to this experience. For me, it was months and weeks. And actually maybe even longer than that, to be quite fair with you. So until I came to a point where I received the message that it was time to release and it was time to forgive, I had already experienced a lot of grief and a lot of anger and a lot of shame and a lot of humiliation. And I gave myself space to move through these emotions. It's so important that you allow yourself the space to do that. It's so important that you allow yourself the space to completely be with your emotions and to completely release and let it move through you. And then when the time is right, you will also feel like, I need to forgive. Maybe it's time to forgive and to let go. And I'm not saying that I felt ready to forgive. Like, there were parts of me that were like, I want to hold on, I can't forgive this person ever in my life. And then I allowed myself to write a cord cutting letter. And I filmed a cord cutting letter video, so I'm not going to explain the whole process right now. I will link it over here so you can watch that if you're curious about how I do that. But I allow myself in this letter to move through the emotions that I still feel, to just automatically write whatever, needs to be cleared. And I set an intention at the start of what my intention of that cord cutting letter is. And then I look at the lessons that I learned from this experience, and then I fully release, forgive, and let go. And that felt so relieving. And like I said at the start, what I realized is that this forgiving was the greatest gift I could give myself, because when you forgive, you're creating space. You're creating space for so much more joy in your life, for abundance, for love, for fun opportunities, for, higher frequencies to flow into your life and take up space in your aura, and to relieve yourself from the burden. Because when you're holding on to so much resentment, at one point, the only person who is living with that every single day is you. Because holding on to that resentment is not going to do nothing to that other person, right? It's only going to block you from all the beautiful things that you could experience. And so once I wrote that cord cutting letter and I truly deeply forgave not only this person but also myself, a whole new world opened up to me. Not just, the next day, but immediately after. Because I felt like literally the burden of this, the weight of this thing was finally lifted from my shoulders. And what I felt, and this is why I'm sitting here today, is I just felt, like inspiration was flowing, messages were coming through. There was just so much more joy in my life and so much creativity that, I just felt the natural draw to create, because I started to have fun with it again. Because I felt like, I'm in the natural flow again. But when you're holding on to resentments, you're blocking that flow. And so this is a message for you today, that forgiving is such a high frequency. I'm gonna Google David Hawkins' map of consciousness right now and share with you what the frequency is. So the frequency here, I believe it says 350 hertz, if I'm right. I will have to look it up and show it here somewhere later. So it's a really high frequency. It's the frequency of harmony. And so I just felt like I needed to share this for anyone who feels like you've been holding on to things, stories, people, that in holding on to these things and experiences and the pain and the hurt, you're in absolute right to have that hurt and to have that anger and to have that resentment. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have it. I'm just saying that once you feel ready to let it go, that forgiveness is a present to you. It's the ultimate present to you, because you free yourself from the burden and you free up space in your life for all the beautiful blessings and gifts that you could receive if you would let go. And with forgiveness, you are reclaiming your power, your highest joy in your experience again. Lately, someone has said to me, the biggest revenge, quote unquote revenge, that you can take or can have is just you living your best life, right? It's up to the universe what will happen with these people. The universe knows. The universe decides, what is fair. That's their karma. For you to live in your highest freedom, your highest expression, the highest version of you, and to live your best flipping life, that's the best revenge that you can ever live and ever give to yourself. That's the best thing that could ever happen to you, right? I think that this was really it for today, a little shorter message. Thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, and just click that subscribe button, and a notification bell next to it is completely free. It just makes sure that you get updated with every single video that I upload every single Sunday. Also, like this video if you have liked this video, share this video with anyone who you think could benefit from this message right now. Let me know in the comments where you guys are tuning in from. Let me know what resonated with this message. And I think that this is truly it for today. Check out my Lightworker merchandise if you feel called to wear conscious clothing. And yeah, nothing more to add, nothing more to say. I will see you in next week's episode. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, we have such an exciting future to look forward to, for real. Even if it doesn't seem like it right now. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Bye for now.